I was somebody sent me this guy in Facebook page where they work at State House. I see Marabio with a Turkish leader. And I want to talk about this a little bit because this is not the first time that Marabio done the go to Turkey. He has been going to Turkey constantly. I think Marabio is taking his playbook from either people like this Erdogan, or with the Turkish then dictator winner Erdogan, or from Museveni of Uganda, where Yerimi brother, where we call Hotmail, when we're doing our social media, where they listen to WhatsApp messages them, I can share messages them now, the platform on WhatsApp and on Facebook. And they talk, there's certain people where they compare Bobby Wine to Dr. Samura Kamara. Bobby Wine is, of course, it was a musician until he turned a politician. If they sing revolutionary songs, them, now Uganda. When I go do my own research on that, and I want to swear away from a point now. But Bobby Wine, of course, a young guy doing his thing for the people of Uganda, for save the people of Uganda. Actually, Ugandans, they actually call him the people's president because they believe in the president of Uganda. So we know say Museveni don't need that power for over 40 years. He's a dictator just holding on to power. But Marabio has been traveling to Turkey for a while. And I think he's taken his playbook from people like the Erdogan, them we don't need that power for so long, which is what he's mimicking after. So what I want to share you with this, because I saw this and I'm like, matter of fact, let me put this on this page so I could make this a little bit bigger. You guys could see the writing. This is this guy on, Facebook. All right. So let me see if I can even forget this phone and I Leone see what you would deal with. This time, I don't know, my mouse is giving me a hard time now, but it's on this guy's page where they work at the State House, Mike Berewa. It say, on the fringes of the fourth Antalya Diplomacy Forum, bear with me now, screen differ. On the fringes of the fourth Antalya Diplomacy Forum, a distinguished gathering of world leaders, policy shapers, scholars, and industry moguls, President Julius Maada had a pivotal encounter with Turkey's President Erdogan. The strides made to bolster ties and expand collaboration between their nations are truly noteworthy. And the forthcoming ventures promise great excitement. We don't know what these ventures are, but that's why I want to share this with you guys, because I want you guys to see this. And I think I will do you guys justice if I go ahead and at least show you what real dictatorship is like. We not only see them in Sierra Leone over the past few years. You've seen that in Sierra Leone, the killings of McKinney, the massacres, not allowing people to protest, all of that stuff. I want you guys to see firsthand what it is. So let's watch this video together, all right? Recently, this was the protest that went on in Turkey because Erdogan, who is the dictator of Turkey, arrested the opposition leader, framed him up. They even receded the guy's, bachelor's degree, because they claimed that, he started his degree in Cyprus and then he came and finished it off in Turkey. So they took it away from him when the guy has his bachelor's and his master's from the University of Turkey. But anyways, I want you guys to watch this so you can see what I'm talking about. Because the reason why I'm saying this, and I'm going to play Abdul Kagbo's, the recent videos we've seen of Abdul Kagbo, who is the illegal leader of the opposition in Sierra Leone. Because the reason why, if you're following me from any other parts of the world, I want you to know in Sierra Leone, we don't have a legal government. The elections that was held June 24th, 2023, almost 2 years coming this June, up till this day, the disaggregated data has not been uploaded into the ECSL's website. ECSL is the Electoral Commission of Sierra Leone. Their website. They've not uploaded that information into that website. So if you're listening from anywhere in the world, that is what is actually happening. And we all know democracy is the power of the people, for the people, and by the people. So till this day, the elections result has not been uploaded. So I want to make that point very clear. All right. But let's watch this video of what happened in Turkey about 2 weeks ago when they had a massive protest because the people of Turkey have opposition leaders that are serious, that are ready to defend democracy when dictators are in play. Because again, don't forget, Erdogan has been in power for over 20 years, right? But let's watch this. Watch this video and see dictatorship, because I want you guys to understand how Julius Maada is aligning himself with these dictators, because he's planning on becoming a dictator, which he is already in Sierra Leone, because that is the only reason why he would steal the elections and continue to stay in power illegally against the will of the people. That's a classic move of a dictator. That is a classic move of a dictator. So let's watch this video together. I want you guys to see this.
There have now been 5 nights of massive countrywide protests across Turkey. This is the country's largest city, Istanbul, and the demonstrations show no sign of letting up. They're angry, they're scared, and they're ready to battle. This is the result of years of pent-up frustration, of soaring inflation, and what many perceive as creeping authoritarianism.
A lot of pepper spraying, sprayed, and the police are pushing back. There's a huge squash on, and they are pushing forward, trying to get people to disperse. There's a real jam here.
Many of those here are young and more worried about their future than the repercussions of protesting.
We feel like they took our democracy, and we are trying to take it back from them.
I want freedom, I want a good future for myself and for my friends, for all of the Turkey. And I want my democracy back.
We don't feel safe in any way right now, so we don't think that our votes count. We don't think we really matter in Turkey, so.
In the capital, Ankara, too, another huge turnout of protesters. This is as much a raw demonstration against the current president as it is support for the man who wants to replace him. They are the biggest anti-government demonstrations in more than a decade. For many here, President Erdogan is the only leader they've ever known. He's been at the helm of Turkish power for more than 20 years, and they see the latest arrests as an attempt by him to snuff out a significant opponent. The Istanbul mayor, Ekrem İmamoğlu, is widely viewed as the most serious political rival to President Erdogan. He's a fierce communicator, demonstrating social media savvy by calmly filming his own detention from his walk-in closet, whilst calling on his followers to defend democracy. We are facing a big oppression, he's saying, and called his arrest on corruption and terror charges a political coup. That's an accusation that's fiercely denied by the Turkish president, who accused the opposition of trying to create chaos and warned it wouldn't be tolerated.
The days of...
So guys, you see, that is what we have going on in Turkey. So every time that I see, these guys, right, going
out into
to Turkey,
taking left-wing
it just rings a bell.
extremists.
You all remember back in 2021. I don't have time now to go to my files to show you all of that. Went to Turkey, was looking at
Millions
ammunitions,
of
all
people
the kind
turned
of
out
stuff
to
they did.
vote
All
for the
remember.
Istanbul mayor
You
as
don't
the
really go to
opposition
Turkey,
party's
constantly going to
nomination
Turkey.
for president.
So when you
An
look at this
election
guy's
not
page, this guy's page where they with them, where they work with them, what would they call Berewa, something Berewa, Mike Berewa. This is his page right here. I mean, you scroll through, this is what you see. Basically, this is what you see. The Fatima Bio with the First Lady of Turkey. These guys are aligning themselves with dictators. And this is why it saddens people like myself, because for all the work that we did leading up to the elections, to protect the APC, to protect the votes of the people of Sierra Leone above all, because it's bigger than just a political party. But we know the APC was in opposition. That is why people like myself stood up and say, amidst the atrocities that Maada commits, the killings, the assassinations and everything, we said we're going to take a position to ensure that we kick these guys out of power so we can bring legitimacy back to the country. And indeed, the people of Sierra Leone turned out for vote amidst this oppression and oppression. The people voted. They voted unanimously for Dr. Samora Kamara. This is clear. It is all over with the tripartite report and everything. It is made very clear that the APC as a political party had 71% of the RRF forms that they produced. shows that Dr. Samora Kamara had 57.15% of the votes. This was a clear, sacrosanct fact. Everybody knows this. Maada and the APC segment of the executive, you all know they are in bed with the SLPP. They continue to stay in power against the will of the people, against the backdrop that they've not even produced the results of that nation. So this is why people like myself are here. We fought to ensure that democracy, the rights of the people were protected. We did everything we could to call out that the opposition was selling. We pointed out the fact that Parliament is responsible for the destruction of Sierra Leone's democracy. This was under the leadership of Honorable Cherno Majuba, Cherikoko commonly called. We pointed out these things. Hold this government accountable. Impeach this man. The killings across that country, the human rights abuses, the economic mismanagement that was ongoing. We see the Auditors General was fired. What did he do? Because they continue to expose the thieving of this government. All of those things, we were constantly bringing it out. What did he do? Because love for country. We want to see our country's image and reputation, be stellar. We don't forget no bad name, like where Sierra Leone reputation don't become so bad day like today with the drug epidemic and everything. And this is the thing, guys. The other thing I want to point out, Maada are going to Turkey. Listen, Boleos, you all know Boleos. I've talked about him, the drug dealer in Sierra Leone, who's currently dating Maada's daughter, was hiding in Turkey for years. He was paying 1 million euros every week to corrupt Turkish officials. Listen to me. Listen attentively. Boleos, Jos Leidekers, the biggest drug lord who was hiding in Sierra Leone and dating Agnes Bio at this particular point in time, was paying 1 million euros a week. So it was paying 4 million euros a month to the Turkish government for protection. How much is he paying in Sierra Leone? So you see how these guys are coordinating? The fact that Maada is going to Turkey, where don't they go all this time? Turkey, we know say they do well. Turkey, when you look at electricity, is not a problem, right? They have 24 electricity, clean drinking water. Their trash collection is awesome and beautiful. The country is nice, right? But waiting and get is a dictatorship, basically. The people are fed up. The people are tired. But you see how they are coordinating, because Maada and the Turkish leader knows about Boleos. There is no way the president of Turkey not be know about Boleos paying this exorbitant amount of money. Maada to go to Turkey. It is aligned with a dictator, not only as a political front because of the political, side of things, but again, look how they are coordinating for hide Boleos in Sierra Leone. Look at Fatima Bio with the first lady of Turkey. So when you look at these people, you look at their pages, and you look at this guy in page, you see the stuff they wouldn't get it. And this lead me to Abdul Kagbo. This leads me to Abdul Kagbo. Abdul Kagbo is the illegal leader of the opposition in Sierra Leone. I will play this shortly so you guys can watch this, and then we'll read the write-up together with Abdul Kagbo say, because it's very crucial for us to see these things, right? This is what Abdul Kagbo said. He recently been in South Korea. We did not even know about that, but he represents Sierra Leone going to South Korea. So Abdul Kagbo as the leader of the opposition, the illegal leader of the opposition, who is giving legitimacy to Maada for let Maada continue for consolidate and hold on to power, become a dictator. Abdul Kagbo. There is a video that I've shared with you guys back in the day. I think before I even talk about Abdul Kagbo, let play this phone. Let us see. This is something that I've pointed out a while back. I want us to watch this video together. Writing about his first experience as a minister in the mid-50s. Writing about his first experience as a minister in the mid-50s, Shaka Stevens recalls in his autobiography as follows. Most men in public positions, the world over, need money, but the need is far more acute for those who have only just left the breadline. That means the one they will be poor, the poor real ones that comes into politics. Most men in public positions the world over need money. That's what Shaka Stevens said. This is what Abbas Bundu is saying. Shaka Stevens said that most men in public positions the world over need money, but the need is far more acute for those who have only just left the breadline. That those ones that are really poor, that just came out. So like that Drake man, I go pool, all of a sudden, grew up in a very poor home, nothing there. Maybe he's the first to break through, and now he has political office.
they are a lot more hungrier. That is why you have so much corruption. You see it again since 2018 to now. What happened in Parliament? It was a sellout. Everybody, opposition, everybody was selling.
Guys, this was a video that I did about Abdul Kagbo. It's on my WhatsApp channel. It's on my Facebook channel. Just in case, if you're not joining any of my channels, then, you know, go on Facebook, the People's Liberation Academy, join the channel. You would be getting a lot of these things. But this was something I did with Abbas Bundu in book, because there was a time when I read the book of Abbas Bundu, Dr. Abbas Bundu, who was the former Speaker of Sierra Leone Parliament, right? I read his book where he talked about the legacy. People that will go pull them, popo politicians so they can get authority. They don't get no backbone, no spine. So this would help you to understand where I'm going, because when you look at people like Abdul Kagbo, that is what we have. So listen to this real quick, and then I will show you now exactly what I want to talk about Abdul Kagbo again.
Cotton deals with the King Ho deals, all of these deals, selling at terminals, Kisi terminal, ferry terminal, all of that stuff that you see. Because again, these guys are trying to break that poverty, you know, lineage that they've gone through. You see, this is the problem we have. And this is what Isset Shaka Stevens said about what was happening back then. So let me read it again, because I want you guys to understand this. Most men in public positions the world over need money, but the need is far more acute for those who have only just left the breadline. As far as an African is concerned, once he is elevated to a position of authority, he is expected to support the horde of hunger's horn that everybody else behind him. Remote members of his family, many of whom he never before knew existed. He must hand out legacy, educate not only his own children, but those of family members, entertain more lavishly and more frequently than before, and dress himself and his family in clothes befitting his status. It is all part and parcel of his new position. Money slips through his fingers like quicksilver, and he can never have enough of it to satisfy his dependents. When it can be had so easily, when all that is required of him is his influence in tipping the scales in the award of a contract or maneuvering some other proposition in favor of the donor, the temptation is enormous, and it seems foolish to him to refuse such an offer. Fresh in his memory too is the hardship he suffered on the way up the ladder, the years of poverty and near starvation he endured, and the longed for education he could never afford, and perhaps also the stench and dampness of a prison cell. With plenty of money in the bank, at least, his own children would be spared such deprivation. The new political elite had seen how the colonial masters had acquired personal wealth, prestige, and power for themselves, and how lavishly they have lived their lives. They were just waiting in the wings to step right into their shoes, for a taste for luxury had led them into preoccupations with wealth and its perquisites, consumption, display, and pleasure.
An army of sheep led by a lion will defeat an army of lions if the lions are led by a sheep. What's the moral of this parable? Here it is. Write it down. Number one, leadership determines the quality of the followers. You know, a good leader can transform cowards into warriors. A good leader can transform frightened people into fearless people. Again, what a state to be teaching this principle. The state of Georgia.
So guys, I played that video. I don't want to continue with this because I don't want you guys to lose the point, right? The point that I'm trying to make here. Abdul Kagbo is whom I want to talk to you guys about, because there is this video that I saw recently that I'm going to show you so you guys can see it. That a parliament, the legal first lady, go there and make this utterance, and Abdul Kagbo was there smiling and laughing. So I go play this video, let us see. And then when I go understand why I played the last video, and I go for connect the dots and see exactly whose side we don't do like a today as a nation, where we at as a nation. All right. So I'm gonna play this for now. Let us see and for ourselves. All right. Now listen to this.
I beg, please, sir, come. I just want to see Abdukago. I want to look at, if you ask them that he had right now, they go wish na APC a day. Even if I die and come back, I will be SLPD. Any day, anytime, Abdukago no vex.
Guys, this is the illegal First Lady of Sierra Leone. This was when they went to Parliament recently because they make him chair president of all the African First Ladies. Then, so we're gonna Parliament for go celebrate. All right. So this is what is actually happening. Abdulkag was the illegal leader of the opposition who should not even be there. The parliamentarians should have walked away because for a country where the elections results are not announced and the election results are not posted on the ECSL's webpage, there is no way an opposition party should dine with anybody or let alone legitimize the illegal government of Maada Bio. So Abdul Kagbo, when I listen, I don't read for Abbas Bunu in book where they talk about people like Abdul Kagbo. Then poor wretched ones they went and go pull at them villages they are. This is the problem. Go pull in a lungi. Everybody deserves an opportunity. Go pull in a village. Everybody deserves an opportunity. But the problem that we have is they don't have values. They don't have morals. You know, this is the thing because they've not been exposed. Now, all of a sudden, the kind of money that we don't see and we don't play with without us being in government. These guys have never seen those kinds of monies. So all of a sudden, they don't become very corrupt to the core. And you cannot do anything. Nothing you can do to forget them not for be corrupt. Because now they see that $5,000, $10,000. They see that kind of money than they. And say recently in Osborne, I guarantee you, I say, they don't be lost, they don't just know, or within the next few months, they don't be lost because it's not a problem. The money is there. But this is why these guys, Abbas Bundo, read that book. And again, like I said again, it's on my WhatsApp channel. It's on WhatsApp. I don't share them on WhatsApp. It's on my Facebook channel. You guys can see how we describe these people. These guys are only there for themselves. They don't get the interest of the country at that. They don't get the interest of Sierra Leoneans. All they care about is what they go make now, the kind of money they go make for themselves now and the generations yet unborn. And this is why I tell you guys, it's going to take a revolution. It's not going to be easy. We don't want it to be. We don't want people living for lost lives. That's a fact because it shouldn't be that way in a democracy. We should be civilized people in like other countries of the world where people are civilized and they act civilizedly. You go Botswana, all these other countries, then they get elections peacefully, quietly. Nobody has to die for an election. We are civilized human beings. Come on. Let's be civilized for once. Which is why Dr. Samora Kamara take the stance and the position where he take the Leketiri and say, no, nobody's going to die for me for this power. No, it's not worth it. We're going to wait and ask the international partners and ask everybody else to do the right thing. Because when I all know just now, yeah, Papa, gone for fire just now. Now they take you see the international committee and count them, motocard and count, jeep count, logistics count, support. Because they want to see we go into chaos. These are the things we talk about every now and again. They don't care about us. They want to sell their weapon them. We brother, when they do hotmail audios, can talk about this kind of a thing as well. They want to let them sell their weapon them because what we kill we self, then they make profit out of the weapons when they sell to we. Dr. Samora Kamara said, no, I'm not going to go for this. People like Abdul Kagbo them for don't support the efforts of Dr. Samora Kamara. How? By just walking away from Parliament. After the tripartite committee recommendations were over, it was clear that the APC won the elections. It showed that out of 71% of the RRF forms, APC had 57.15%. That was clear as day. That should have been it. Abdul Kagbo, Freetown City Council, and Mayor Mrs. Lipstick, all of these people should have stepped aside. The executive will not stand with Dr. Samora Kamara and say, no, we're not going to tolerate this because generations yet unborn. We're not going to tell this story to them, say we get the election where the results was not announced. They say, oh, Dr. Samora, go meet Maada Bio. What the hell is, just shut the freak up. They go meet him. Now, yes, it's another president call a running mate for the other political party. It happens across the world. It happens across the world. Then go hold meeting. It is not news, not fresh. It's not the first time. It comes out from there. It go meeting party. Say, no, what you don't tell me so Maada Bio. We get to we as a political party, this is not problem. We know say, we don't thief the election. But they go talk to me political party. They go talk to him political party. They hold meeting at the highest office of the APC party, the NAC executive there. Beyond that, then go and say, okay, we agree for going to negotiations because again, we believe, say, we for resolve this in a very peaceful manner. Let we prove and show, say, the results show, say, that the APC party win. The tripartite committee did that and the APC, Abdul Kagbo and all these people that are unconstitutionally occupying parliament should have walked away. But these guys are dining. Now listen to Fatima Biawere. They make a mockery of this guy. She would go die, come back now. You don't finish this video.
You know, silent movement preparing for 2028 knows that.
When I look up the Kagbo, when I see her, I end up here Fatima Biona Yaso. They laugh, they enjoy. These guys are having fun. These guys, it's about themselves.
The SNPP is going to win 2028. SNPP is going to win 2028. Knows that. The SNPP is going to 28. Knows that. The 2028 knows that. Preparing for 2028 knows that. The silent movement preparing for 2028 knows that. The SNPP is going to win 2028.
All right. I want to show you guys that. I want to see what we talk about. People like myself. When I see Abdul Kagbo is having a good time. It's having fun. They enjoy. They laugh.
I beg, please.
That's why we don't talk about 2028.
I just want to see
elections of June 24, 2023. The results are not yet
if you
out.
ask them that in hands right now,
we're not done it in June 24, 2023 elections. We're still on that election. They laugh. It should not happen. So look at Abdul Kagbo. This is here on Mike Berewa in page. Mike Berewa in page, there are cities. Abdul Kagbo, they go talk about climate change and this and that. It's a long video, I wouldn't play it.
De ideas y valores, podemos construir una sociedad más inclusiva y valiosa. Finalmente, tenemos la participación del honorable Abdul Kagbo, miembro del Parlamento de la República de Sierra Leone.
Your Excellencies, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I bring you warm greetings from Sierra Leone and heartfelt appreciation to the Universal Peace Federation for the opportunity to speak at this distinguished World Summit here in the Republic of Korea, a nation that stands as a symbol of resilience, innovation, and transformation. We have come together this morning under the theme.
Guys, let me share something with you. Recently, in South Korea, how many of you know say the South Korean president was impeached? How many of you know say the Supreme Court of South Korea, they allow the impeachment of the South Korean president for move forward? Now they Abdul Kagbo go. But that is not even the point, right? It is these small, then travel, then yeah. This is how then compromise, then winning, and then victory. Travel, go South Korea. I don't go South Korea. I see it. Beautiful country. It's a first world country. South Korea and Sierra Leone are night and day. I'm not going to go under safe. I'll be forgotten back this May, but I just declined this year because I have so many other things that I do. But South Korea impeached the president. We didn't get democracy. This is the real power of democracy in itself. South Korea impeached the president. I did Abdul Kagbo go so. But in Sierra Leone, Abdul Kagbo, the Cheriko coast, they don't get what he take for impeach. If this guy they go see himself in the parliament and they go write an article of impeachment against Marabio and say, hey, the elections results are not available. Therefore, no, they allow you for continue for stay in power. We have to remove you. But you see, because of this small travel there, now you make Abdul Kagbo, they don't sell with victory. This is the reason we make Abdul Kagbo sell with victory. Then they go to the conference there, they go talk about climate change and this and that and all that nonsense. Like going in page, don't want to see him. This is the problem we're dealing with. Now then travel there at the expense of with democracy. This is what they do. This is what they do. So I sharing things there with Unala see, so we go understand why we get with democracy don't die there like it today. Why we don't get a death democracy.
why democracy is not working anymore. Because people like Abdul Kagbudem don't trade with democracy. They don't trade them. Look at that. Let me read. I'm going to read it here. At the World Summit in South Korea, I emphasized Sierra Leone's unique position in the global climate conversation, facing rapid population growth and harsh climate impacts, despite contributing very little to global emissions. I highlighted the potential of a young population, over 60% under 25, as both a challenge and an opportunity. With the right investments in education, skills, and green jobs, they can become powerful drivers of sustainable development. This is the whole crap they keep talking about. The same language. Instead of go practice it, don't go learn. From Maada Bio, they talk about big jargon and nonsense, nothing on the ground, nothing to show. I made a strong appeal for global cooperation in 5 key areas: easier access to adaptation, focused climate finance, meaningful technology transfer, investment in youth and girls' education, because you just didn't get for put the girls, yeah? Care about the girls. Legal protections for those displaced by climate change, and support for Africa's green economic transformation. I concluded by urging world leaders to see population change not as a burden, but as a call to action, and to turn this summit's dialogue into real, lasting impact. Guys, I'm sharing this with you. I want to understand which will they deal with. It is then trip there, and trips there to South Korea, the other trip there. Now, I guy they don't sell with victory. The June 24th, 2023 elections, Titi do not get the results. It's not been announced. Polling station to polling station, disaggregated data, all of that stuff. It is not there. Why? Because people like Abdul Kagbudem don't trade with democracy. So now see how Maada Bio continue to align himself with dictators. They go to Turkey. They keep Boleos. Now Boleos, the drug dealer, is in Sierra Leone. It dates Maada Bio in daughter. Fatima Bio, a friend of the first lady in Turkey. Turkey gets a dictatorship. Then they arrest opposition, lock up opposition, use water, trucks pan people away to protest, suppress voices of opposition because Erdogan want for continue for staying in power. And then when I see Abdul Kagbo as your opposition, we're not supposed for in a parliament. If anything, for them walk away. Instead of them join hand with Dr. Samura Kamara to fight for with democracy, for restore the good name of Sierra Leone and restore the reputation of Sierra Leone. Abdul Kagbo is sitting with Fatima Biona parliament, they tell them for say 2028 and they win the next elections. SLPP, they win the next elections. These are the realities of what we are dealing with as Sierra Leoneans. So I say to everybody again, what are you going to do as a Sierra Leonean to salvage and save the democracy? All right? I was just going to keep this very short and to the point, but these are the people that we're dealing with. No elections in 2028. We are not going to vote. But we know, say, no matter what happens, the people of Sierra Leone will get the last laugh, and the people of Sierra Leone will get the last say. Because democracy is the power of the people, for the people, and by the people. We too don't get so they like it today, it's a dictatorship, and we're not going to accept that. Democracy, if now we practice, let's practice that. If we don't get dictatorship, we're not telling we so don't get dictatorship. But as far as we know right now, Sierra Leone is a one-party state system. What's in Maada Bio wants, that Maada Bio to get. Dr. Samura Kamara continues to wait on the international community for they can restore him as the president of Sierra Leone. And every well-meaning Sierra Leonean should stand with that and say, no, we're not to tolerate foolishness. Stop the stupid arguments when they give the excuses. I'm not kind of here for this live today for can talk about the foolish idiots that when they say Dr. Samura Kamara up for take a meeting with Maada Bio where he can report back to the party office. I'm not going to go into that. If you want to remain stupid. That's on you. But that's dialogues happen all the time. People get issues, then the dialogue. Then go meet the APC party and get a conversation. At the end of the day, the party agree for going to a agreement. The tripartite report come out and make it very clear say the APC party win and Dr. Samura Kamara call on the ECOWAS for the restore democracy. Guys, have a beautiful evening. But I wanted to do this. I know this is my second live for the day, but I don't restore my platform back. When I get a chance, I will do it. Bye-bye, everybody. Have a good evening.